The saga is over. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but the Oblivion remaster, technically remake, but titled remaster, is actually real. And these aren't leaked court documents. These aren't Twitter users. These aren't leakers that are talking to insiders that are talking to sources from Bethesda saying that this game is coming. These are actual leaked images from the game directly ripped off of Virtuos' website, the company that is developing this game in Unreal Engine 5. So as I mentioned, the Is It Real saga is over, but the Is It Actually Good saga is just beginning. But before I get there, how did this actually leak? Where did this actually come from? Well, this comes from a Reddit user that said he checked the website and inspected a random image element. Yes, this came from an inspect element Reddit user in hopes that he would find something. And it turns out Virtuos was using WordPress, and the uploads folder contains these images and that they didn't expect to actually find it. Well, I've used WordPress previously in my job, not a lot. I know very little about it, but what I do know is that you can actually upload images that you don't make public. And this easily could have been sitting in an upload folder waiting to go public when this game was confirmed or when this game was announced by either them or Bethesda or both to actually finally put up on the website. They are also frantically removing this from the website. I'm assuming probably other images that people could have just inspected element and found that haven't been revealed or released yet, because the website is completely down. I tried to go on the website and do it myself. I cannot get on the website in any way. This is literally what it looks like for me right here. But it is too little too late, because we are about to take a look at everything that was leaked. Now, the first thing I want to take a look at is the title image here. It looks so cool, but there are definitely a couple things I want to note here. Number one, it was definitely meant to be the cover image for the Virtuos website. This was going to be the cover image. You have the menu up here, you have the Contact Us up here, and it was made by Virtuos. This was not made by Bethesda, albeit definitely overseen by Bethesda, and it says remastered, not remake. It is not titled the Oblivion Remake like a lot of people have been calling it. Despite it definitely kind of being way more like a remake than a remaster, this game is completely remade in Unreal Engine 5. It is said to have no mod support because of that, which is definitely a bummer. But aside from that, there are leaked and rumored information about core gameplay changes to the combat, to specifically the archery and the stealth, and even potentially to the Oblivion gates, which was the biggest issue with the first game, with those getting stale and feeling like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Someone posted a better image here of this without the menu and the Contact Us or the Virtuos, and this just looks incredible. It looks so damn cool. Moving on to a couple other interesting images here. Again, this is supposed to be titled Remastered, but there is definitely going to be multiple editions, with the Deluxe Edition also being one of the images that was leaked. You know they're going to try to get as much money out of this as possible. Now, I'm interested to see if we're going to be getting the Deluxe Edition with Game Pass. It is rumored and leaked to be dropping day one on Game Pass, so we'll have to see about that as we find out more information. Now, taking a look here at the actual first leaked images of the game, I tried to find the most high definition ones as possible because a lot of these don't necessarily look very good from the image leaks in terms of their quality. However, this looks really good. There's an archer obviously shooting goblins with their bow, and all these goblins look awesome. They do look very reminiscent, obviously, of the Oblivion goblins. A little bit different in the face specifically. If you take a look at some of the actual Oblivion goblins, I mean, it's pretty close, but they definitely look a little bit different. They kind of remind me of Baldur's Gate 3 goblins in a way. Regardless, this looks really good. And this is obviously made in Unreal Engine 5. If you've played any Unreal Engine 5 game, you can see how reminiscent it is of UE5. Now, this person says, is that third-person view? I'm not sure if this is third-person view or just kind of the camera angle, but there's obviously going to be a third-person view, and hopefully the animations with that third-person view, especially with the jumping and just the way it feels, is a little bit different. It was pretty lackluster in the original Oblivion. Now, moving over into another image of inside of a tavern here. This looks awesome. This looks so good. Again, obviously, this is made in Unreal Engine 5, but this is a million times better than what the original game looks like. I don't think a normal remaster would have done this game any justice. This looks beautiful. I cannot wait to explore things like this in the brand new engine. it just looks so damn cool. Moving on now to some before and after images. You see the Spriggan here on the top versus the brand new Spriggan. The design looks absolutely incredible for these. In general, this image just straight up looks beautiful. Now, if you go to the ones below this, you can see all the fog in the atmosphere. You can see the shadows in the brand new image. You can see how the sword is in the shadow. I would love to see the sheen of the sword in the sunlight, but we don't get that here. But it just looks so night and day. Obviously 19-year different, remade in a completely brand new engine. It's almost, in my opinion, it's going to feel like playing a completely new game. But it definitely still has that same Oblivion art direction. It looks like it's going to have that same Oblivion feel and at least the atmosphere of the game. Hopefully with the core changes, they don't change how the game feels too much. They just make it a little bit more modern in terms of the combat and what people enjoy playing. Now, taking a look at the last 4 images here, the first one, we have the Oblivion Gate. And sorry for this being so low quality, but you can still see a lot here. You can see into the Oblivion Gate, the fire coming out of it, the atmosphere of the world, just like in the original Oblivion, completely changing to a fire sky with ash and fire falling out of the sky. You've got these big spikes right next to the Oblivion Gate. It's going to look so cool. I'm hoping the atmosphere when we're in the game matches what we first felt when we were going to that first Oblivion Gate. Again, hopefully the actual Oblivion Gates are a bit changed here and not as stale and not as boring after your first one, but the first one, even going and walking up to it, is still a memory I have to this day from the original game. Now, moving on to the next image here, we have a town, and just look at the architecture and look at the water again and the reflection of this town from the water and the different shadows here. And then the foliage, which I'll get to even more foliage here in the second in the next image, which looked so good in my opinion. But this again, it just looks beautiful. It looks like it captures the essence of what Oblivion looks like, but completely modernized and completely remade, not remastered, but remade in an entirely new engine. And I absolutely love what I'm seeing. Now, moving on, we have a sewer here. Now, this has the Skyrim logo on it. This might actually be the original sewer when you're leaving the prologue and see the world for the first time. So I'm hoping that moment is as awesome as the moment that you probably had when doing that for the first time in Oblivion. But just look at this foliage around the sewer. Look at all of the details. That is what I'm so impressed by here. The trees in the background, there's so much density here that we didn't have in the original game, which is what I'm so excited to experience. Like I said, it's going to be like experiencing this game for the first time. Now, moving on to the last image here, I wish I could have found a better version of this image, but wow, this one is incredible. This is my favorite one by far. This is the Imperial City, obviously, when there's like a sunset coming down. You see these like aurora lights up here in the sky. You see these bright orange trees, or at least the reflection where it looks like bright orange trees from the sun and the sunset going down. And this is my favorite city in almost any RPG because of how nostalgic I am of it. And seeing it like this, and this graphical quality and fidelity, man, I hope the density in the city of the NPCs is a little bit better than it used to be. I have a feeling it's not going to be, but that would be amazing. But wow, this looks so good. It looks absolutely incredible. So there it is. Those are all of the images that I at least found that were leaked for the Oblivion Remake. Yes, it is actually real. I should probably start calling it the Oblivion Remaster because that's the official name. But regardless, it looks a lot better than even I thought it was probably going to look, and I'm so happy it's not just a little bit better graphics with a little bit better lighting. This looks absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, there are other changes aside from the graphics here. There are supposed to be core gameplay changes, like I mentioned earlier, with the stealth, with the archery. They're supposed to be adding hit reactions. There might be a modernized HUD. There might be changes to the Oblivion Gates to make them not as stale and not as bland as they used to be after your first Oblivion Gate. All of this is leaked and rumored to potentially be in the game here, so we'll have to wait and see with more information. I would assume a trailer is going to be coming soon now that everyone's already seen the game. It's kind of funny that Bethesda wasn't the one to leak this, but it was actually Virtuos that leaked it. They're probably not too happy with them, but again, this game is also supposed to be releasing at some point next week. My last information that I found was the week of April 21st after the big ESO event. Now, does this leak change the date at all? If anything, I think it would just move it up. There's been so much hype about this game, and today it's going to be at an all-time high, with it not only confirming to be real, but also confirming basically to be coming extremely soon, with the website literally having the images already on it, just not published onto the public version. I would love to hear what you guys think down below in the comments about specifically these images. Do you think they look as good as I think that they look? Like the Imperial City image, for example, or the foliage, or the Spriggan design, or even the Oblivion Gate and the atmosphere in that image specifically. Now, on top of this, what do you feel about the core gameplay changes supposedly that are going to be in this version? I would also like to hear, what do you think this game is going to cost? And do you think it's going to be free on Game Pass for the base version or both versions here? Now, I think it's probably only going to be the base version on Game Pass, and I definitely think it's going to be $50 with $70 deluxe version, but I'm really hopeful it's going to be $40 and $60. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. For my new viewers, like and subscribe if you did like what you see here. For my returning viewers, thank you for the support. As always, please like this video if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace! It's real. It is real, boys.